Support me on Ko-fi for exclusive content unavailable to YouTube. Also, join the Discord. The links will be in the description. Thank you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Heavily Modded. Sorry for any issues you might see in the video. I will have to render this video and find out if there are any issues. But for me it's kind of jumping around right now. We've got this running at 6 times speed because the beginning of this video is pretty boring, doing things we've done most of the time anyway. So, we're just heading back to base after picking up some oil from our oil refineries. And then the rest of that time in the 6 times speed up until maybe about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes into the video, I think, will end up being just biter destruction as you see here. Hopefully this is rendered nice and quick and speedy for you. It actually looks nice, not all jumpy around like this. If not, I might actually re-record this so you'll never hear this anyway. But today, after we deal with our biters and our spitter nests and worms and everything, we're going to spend some time working with our new oil and getting the petroleum products that we need to make, such as sulfur, organotins, and I think it's we also make hydrogen chloride, but it's something else that's using petroleum gas and chlorine, but I'm not sure which one that is. Anyway, just burning through these bases here because we just really want to get these expansion circles further and further away from our base as much as we can. And there's only so much more time that we are able to do that because eventually, pretty quickly, these biters are going to be evolved way too far for us to do that. Just researching some things while we're doing this. You always should have something researching that you can have researching, so that's what we're doing throughout this video. Anyway, we are dealing with oil now, and unfortunately because of the lack of train capabilities due to a lack of resources and also the biters and everything, we are unable to really set up an automatic transportation of oil back to our base. So, for a little while, not very long, because at the end of this video we do manage to successfully build an armored locomotive and some things to make a train possible. For a little while, though, we're going to be transporting oil in drums back and forth between the oil derricks and our base for production. So, for now, that's what we're going to be doing, but we're going to go deal with the bases up in the north now to get them further away from our base and the expansion circles away from our base. Just all kinds of biters. Anyway, so I'm thinking about where we're going to take this series and how we're going to do this, right? So I really want to take this series to the end of the game. That would be great. We're just progressing really slowly. So I think I want to leave it in for this video, but I think after this video, from now on, any destruction of biters that is using the old style of just like we have been walking into the bases with the armor that we have and shooting them with the machine gun, any of that is probably going to be just cut out. Let me hydrate real quick. Got a nice big glass of sweet tea here with me. For those of you who don't know, I live in the southeastern United States, the great state of Tennessee at the moment. I grew up in Alabama, so I grew up drinking sweet iced tea all my life, and that's what I drink now. Anyway, I actually have cut back a whole lot on it in the past few years, and this is the first time I've really had sweet tea, in almost a year now. But it never gets old. Usually I'll make it myself. I guess it's actually not been a year. It's been more like 3-4 months, 5-6 months. I don't know. Yeah, probably about 6 months since before my son was born. But yeah. So anyway, it's a treat for me. We're now back into the regular 2 times speed of our video, getting into the actual production part of this episode. So yeah, it was about 4.5 minutes. So I haven't decided yet if I want to cut out all the biter fights or if I want to just do that 6 times speed. I guess it depends on how well it renders out here at the end of the video. If it was jumpy like what I was seeing on the preview, or if it actually renders nice and smooth. You know, if it's nice and smooth, then maybe 6 times speed would be appropriate. But if not, then like I said, you'll not hear this voiceover because I'll take it back and put it 4 times speed. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you have a suggestion about that, if you want to see the biter destruction or if you want it to be cut out. For now, we're setting up a building to put our oil refinery in. And some of our simple petroleum gas recipes, because we only have 3 recipes that use petroleum gas. That is sulfur, I think vinyl chloride is what it is, and also organotins. At the moment, there's only 3. In the future, there will be more, but for now, all we are trying to do is get this starter base to making blue science so that we can then have it make robots for us, so that we can have like full-size regular old construction robots and logistics networks, and then we can take it and move on and go build our proper base somewhere else with a lot better belts and everything else. We'll have a main bus and all that good stuff, you know. For now, though, like I said, we're doing oil through barrels and drums because of the lack of train resources at the moment. We're also got to feed water into this refinery to make petroleum gas. So that's what we're going to do. And we will also use this water in the creation of, what is it? I think it's in the creation of sulfur. First petroleum gas at 23 hours, 44 minutes, and 56 seconds into the playthrough. So as of this video, we've been playing on this Let's Play for for 24 in real life hours of gameplay, which is crazy. You know, that's a big milestone. That's a whole day's worth of Factorio. But then again, this mod pack will take a whole lot longer than that. But yeah, 24 real life hours spent on this world building things, and mainly fighting biters. I'd say probably just under half the time has been spent fighting biters and destroying nests. That's what I'd probably say because of the rampant mod. And the fact that I made the expansion distance, I didn't change it to be lower. If I had changed the expansion distance down to like, I don't know, 2 instead of 7, it'd be a whole lot easier because they wouldn't be just jumping all the way to our base. Or if we had even not built our base where we did, if we had built it over here where there's hardly any biters at all, maybe that would be different too. But it's possible that they are expanding closer to us because of the pollution as well. So I really am not sure. But here we go. We're going to get some more oil to provide for our petroleum gas creation here. This is the way we're doing it for now, putting all the drums in. It's going to fill it up with oil, and then we'll pick the drums back up and take them back to the base. And it's really nice. Like I said, these oil derricks are really, really nice because they provide their own power, so we don't have to worry about power out here for a basic setup like we have. We might have to, I just picked up the fish because it was under my cursor, but anyway, we might have to worry about power if we were to have a big old factory out here in the middle of the lake. But for now, all we have is the one assembler turning empty drums and oil into oil-filled drums. So that's all that matters. But our goal is to, first off, set up a train system to pull lead and oil back to our base. That's what we're intending to do. However, in order to set up a train system, if we're going to set one up, I want it to be able to defend itself by having at least a minigun turret on it And I'd also like it to have a radar on it so that we can see where it is and things happening around it, which are both very feasible because that's part of the I don't know if it's AAI or what it is, but um, there is a radar car and a radar platform and a minigun platform, um, and those are things that we will build in this episode. I will go ahead and forewarn you. Unfortunately, at the end of this episode, I forgot to save the world, so half of the stuff that we did is not done. Not all of it, right? I think the autosave intervals is 15 minutes or something, so only a short part of it is not done. When it's, I think the oil section is not done. This whole part that we're doing right now, but I'm going to go back and fix it, so no worries. But in case things look a teensy bit different at the start of the next episode, just that's why, is because I forgot to save the game before closing out the world, and I had to go back in and save it so that the autosave wouldn't get messed up. But yeah, just so you're aware. Sorry about that. Alright, we're trying to split off 10 here to go back, to go up into this building in order to have organotins being produced. And this is just how we managed to do it. I just thought, well, you know what? It's already right here. Let's just do it that way, right? So that's fine. We're going to get rid of that because there was a rock in the way. And then we've got the tin running. We're going to build a belt balancer to put in the tin belt so it's evenly distributed, and fills up the whole belt instead of just half a belt. Something else we need to bring into the factory is alumina into that building. Um, and I actually kind of forgot how I did that. Oh, I just split it off from up here because we had alumina going to something else. I think for graphite, maybe, or something. Or no, it was for glass. We had alumina going up for glass production. So we're going to split off of that and bring it down into the building right next to the tin. We now have both of those in the building. The last thing we're going to have to pull in here, which we thankfully do have the research done for, is chlorine. So we're going to bring this chlorine that we've got made down here all the way up into the building to make vinyl chloride. And those are the three products that we have to have from petroleum gas to make blue science. The logistics, I think. Not logistics. What is it? Automation? No, that's the red. Logistics would be green. It's going to be chemical tech cards. That's what they're called. Chemical tech cards. The same names as the vanilla science. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time remembering that. But yeah. Anyway, chemical tech cards. The blue ones. Everybody always just calls it blue, red, green, and yellow, purple, whatever else, right? So the other thing is that I didn't realize that we actually have to set this to input mode, not output mode. So at first I thought maybe there's not enough pressure in the pipe to bring it in, but if you look at the arrow, there is a specific direction. It's pointing out of the building, not into the building. So I make a pump and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this pump on here and let's see, will it work inside the building? No. Let's see, will it work outside the building? And yes, of course it does, but it doesn't do anything else for the actual, you know, whatchamacallit, to actually get chlorine into the building, because I have this arrow set backwards. So I just pressed R on it to rotate it, and it's now inputting chlorine. Now we need chemical plants, and that's something we haven't made yet. I thought we had picked some up, but I think we've used them all right there for the bakelite production. So yeah, we do not have any currently in our inventories anywhere, so we're going to have to craft some, which means titanium carbide, steel, I believe, because we're going to use basic chemical plants and not or not basic, we're going to use the regular chemical plants, or are they called advanced chemical plants? I forget. But not the ones where you have to put fuel into, we're going to use the electric ones, right? That's the main deal here, is that I wanted it to be all electric from now on, anything that we make. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. We also need to research or find a way to better do a power generation. I'd really like to do some kind of automation, maybe of solar panels or of wind turbines at some point. I know we had set big wind turbines in our Helmod planner, but I really don't know which way we should go at the moment. Solar panels are expensive, wind turbines are fairly cheap, but I'm really not sure. It doesn't really give me a number at how well the wind turbines actually produce power. So yeah, so that's the problem. Anyway, we don't have any lead plates in our inventory or in any of our little chests here, so we're gonna get some from our what is it called? Excess, the original lead plate chest that we had over here in the corner. We also need to remember about copper plates being over here because we need to grab those and empty those chests out as well. But yeah, so we're gonna take this and make that, and I think I might have had auto save set to 30-minute intervals, and I really hope that's not the case, but I think it might have been, and that's why it's been so it jumped back so long when I didn't accidentally forgot to save. Anyway, we're now making some tungsten carbides because we need those for the chemical plants. Also grabbed an extra stack of tungsten plates to keep in my inventory. Continuing to research, and we actually have completed the grappling gun research, which is pretty cool. I hadn't used it yet, but it is pretty cool. We went ahead and crafted one before the episode's over and used it and found out that, hey, that's nice. It saves us some moving, especially like if we're fighting biters. I can see how it would be really useful. Because you can easily just go straight, um, through the creep. Because I could see, well, I don't know, I didn't test it in creep, but I'm guessing that it probably pulls you straight through the creep at the same speed, which would be great. You switch the grappling gun real quick, jump across the whole biter nest, and then you're done, right? Then you're on the other side, not having to worry about anything. I can see how that would be very useful. I wish that there was some kind of way to make a grappling gun work with vehicle. That would be pretty cool. But unfortunately, probably not. I doubt there's actually. Yeah, there it was. You just saw me use it. Jumped across a good area. Um, definitely great for close quarters. But like it says, it can be used to jump over buildings and cross water. So, if you get stuck somewhere, of course, we have the squeeze through or whatever it's called, where you can just squeeze through, single half where there's things right butting up against each other, you can just walk through it. But if you didn't have that and you got stuck in your factory somewhere, grappling gun would be a lifesaver. Yeah, but we're just going to set up a bunch of researches just to have things going. And of course, like I said, all of this is lost in the world because of the autosave issue that I didn't. I changed the autosave intervals up for the Kofi exclusive content, and then I forgot to change it back for this content because I was just being stupid. So, yeah, that's the issue. But anyway, you see we've got the 3 recipes: vinyl chloride, organotins, and sulfur. We need water and petroleum gas for sulfur, as well as alumina. We need petroleum gas and chlorine for vinyl chloride, and we need petroleum gas and tin plates for the organotins. So we're going to feed the petroleum gas in right there. We're going to feed water in right next to it, right here. And it's just unfortunate because of the way that this is set up. So I just got rid of one of the inputs of petroleum gas into the organotins, as it won't really matter. And then we're now making vinyl chloride. We're going to go and hook the alumina into the sulfur production, and then hook the tin plates into the organotins production. Pull each of those 2 resources. Sulfur goes into a chest for now, and then the organotins and vinyl chloride will go into tanks. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this episode, except for a small portion of it where we're going to spend a little bit of time crafting some trains. So we're going to craft an armored locomotive because it's actually cheaper than I think than the regular locomotive. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. It might not be. I might just be talking out my head right now. But yeah. So before we do that, we're going to set up hydrogen chloride. Um, Pretty easy. You just take the water that you already separated. The salt water you separated into chlorine and hydrogen, and just put chlorine and hydrogen back into the a chemical plant and turn it into hydrogen chloride. So, you know, that's all there is to it. Put another tank on the output here to store up hydrogen chloride. Um, and then we're going to craft some trains. So we're going to craft an armored locomotive, a radar platform, and a minigun platform because our goal, like I said, is going to be to put a train up to lead and oil and bring it back. Unfortunately, I didn't craft the whatchamacallit, uh, shoot, the storage wagon or the tank wagon, I think they're called. Um, so that's going to be an issue. So from what I can tell, the armored locomotive is just a regular locomotive that's armored, which, pretty simple, right? It uses steel plates and it's like, it's armored around the outside of the locomotive. The platform with radar is just a platform car that um, is, turns into a radar, and the same thing with the minigun turret platform. But it seems like I couldn't find a way to put fuel into the radar and minigun turret or ammo, and I think what they do is they pull automatically from any storage wagon on the train that's connected to it. So I think you have to have a storage wagon on the system in order for it to work, or cargo wagon, not storage wagon. Anyway, you have to have a cargo wagon connected to the train for it to work. So that then becomes the issue of, okay, so you've got a cargo wagon connected to this train, and now you have to keep slots available for ammo. You have to refill the ammo. You also have to keep slots available for fuel. I don't know what fuel they use, right? It doesn't really tell you. It just says they need fuel. The locomotive will take fuel. That's fine. But then the rest of it, you have to have some other way to fuel it. So, um, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to do some testing probably and figure that out on my own on a creative world. But for now, we're going to go and just craft it, place it down on the tracks, have it sit there, look pretty, right? Anyway, we're getting to the end of this episode. As soon as I place this train down, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, leave a like, drop a comment, some things I could do better. Definitely do all of that. And subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord to talk with me if you want to. You could request things or let me know what I'm doing wrong. Also, biters have once again infiltrated close to our base. We'll fix that again later. I might do that off camera. But we can't use processed fuel in these locomotives, so that's another issue. We're just going to use coal for now. Anyway, yeah, support me on Ko-fi for exclusive content right now. Factorio Puzzletory, a puzzle mod scenario in Factorio. So yeah, thanks for watching. Um, well, this is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.